What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy, XRyuChiOniX Gaming. Why don't I wrap it up for you? I'll sugar it for you. So we get this shit to you raw, man. Today's video, we're here to talk about what I believe Ubisoft is intentionally doing. I believe they're intentionally refusing to rework this character. I believe they're scared to rework this character because they know if they rework this character, this hero is going to be the most broken hero in probably the history of For Honor. And there's just no way that they feel that they could balance it. There's just no way. There's no way this character will shoot from being at the bottom and shoot to S tier and have a balance where they come down. There's just no way. It has to be all or nothing, I believe. And I'm gonna give you some scenarios what they could probably throw, and I'll kind of give you what it will feel like. And just go ahead and say it. I believe this character is Highlander. I believe Highlander is in desperate need of rework. There is absolutely no reason that this hero is this bad. Like, he has nothing, and the only thing that they have done is sped up his lights. I just don't understand how this big 6'6", 326-pound guy is throwing lights this fast, and he's throwing it this much. I think his kit is a very good kit for the past, but the present, he's desperately in need of rework. He's the textbook hero of what it means to need a rework. Because his kit used to work, it no longer works now. It doesn't. His kick to grab is useless against every character in the game. The only characters it is not useless to is characters with a dodge bash. Because a dodge bash, you're essentially going to be in the same spot. And because of how the frames and the milliseconds, I don't get going too deep and all that. But just you know what I'm talking about. You can kick to grab. Either you're going to dodge early or you're going to dodge late. If you try to do a kick to grab against anybody else who has an actual physical dodge attack that you can actually parry, whether it's a dodge light, whether it's a dodge heavy, whether we're talking Valkyrie, we got Berserker, you got Orochi, you got Kensei, those type of dodge attacks where you can actually parry those, I call those physical dodge attacks. Those ones, he has no way to deal with it other than crushing counter and parries. Now, before I was going to make this video, but I wanted to wait until after the patch came out, where they changed all the dodge attacks into light parries. So I held off on this video. But now that has come out, he is a little bit better. And now you can kind of start to see he kind of trickles up a little bit. Just a little bit. Not very noticeable because it kind of goes into skill and how well the skill is. But other than that, before this patch, he doesn't have anything. He gets a GB off. He gets nothing but a light or a zone. Which is what? 14 damage? I'm just going on top of my head. 14 damage? I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's really nothing to even fear at this point. The feint to GB doesn't work for Highlander unless he's by a wall. The zone is a joke because it takes half of your stamina. It's a complete, like, useless move. I mean, you don't even get a zone off of a heavy parry. You don't get that guarantee. It's useless. It's completely useless. It's easy to parry. Yeah, it's feintable, but at what cost? Half your stamina to get parried? It's not really worth it. So he doesn't have an effective GB punish. That's one. We just kind of went lightly over the kick to grab, but I kind of want to touch on a little bit more. Like I said, it really only works against dodge. Dodge bashes. It doesn't really work. And then the kick. I mean, once they see the kick, it's just instant do a dodge attack because they know the other part isn't even a threat because, like I said, it's not going to hit them. It's not going to hit them. So that's two problems with it, right? That's two problems. Other than that, he doesn't have a neutral opener. It doesn't have a neutral bash. It doesn't. Right now, the best way to beat this guy is if you just walk in front of him and just stand there. Just stand there. Don't do anything. Just walk up and stand there and let him do all the swinging. The backstep light only gets you so far. It only gets you so far. The wave dash only gets you so far. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. That's that. The in chain. I know I talked about the kick to grab already, but this going into chain and getting into the offensive form. If you don't know and you haven't played Highlander at all, he has an offensive form. Pretty much just what it is, offensive form. Now he has these things called offensive lights. So in the offensive light stance, I mean, yeah, they're super fast lights, but that's really all he has because, like I said, the kick to grab is useless. You're just gonna try to attempt to parry the damn heavy, unblockable, and if I GB you, I get nothing but a light out of it. So it's not like it's a big threat. But if it does land, it's a 30 damage, which it never lands because no one's gonna let you land it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can do. Oh, you can do the soft feint into kick to grab. That shit doesn't work. The soft feint from a heavy unblockable into kick to grab does not work because, like I said, the minute you see that kick coming, you can just get out the way. Someone's gonna try to parry the heavy anyway. So if they do try to parry the heavy, they can feint it and then dodge attack right after instantly. I've done it before with Shinobi. It's not difficult to do if you're actually trying to play the game. It's not very difficult to do. So that's that. The soft feinting from the heavy unblockable into light is the same timing as the heavy parry. So essentially, you're just not throwing an unblockable. You give him a free offensive light. If he parries it on the heavy timing, he's going to get a light parry. So that's useless. And then obviously, he just has the feint into Russian counter. So a lot of people say that, Highlander is, oh, he just lights, and he does not have anything to throw. Yeah, he's got the hyper armor heavies, but if you know what you're doing, you parry it. Cool. If you don't, okay, positive frame range. Now I'm going back to lighting again because I don't have anything. Now we're going into solutions. Okay, I'm gonna give you scenarios of what they could do based on what the other characters they've done, and I'll tell you the outcome, how broken it would be. And this is kind of going into what I say they're scared to do. Highlander, if they give him an opener bash, I'm talking about a neutral bash. Alright, for those who don't know what neutral is, if we're standing there, the round just started, and I hit dodge for a kick, or dodge for a guard break, alright, he does a kick, boom, he lands an unblockable heavy, that's 30 damage. Right? That's a lot of fucking damage. Right? Now you might say, oh, they might have to turn it down a little bit. I mean, now you're playing with the old turn it down some, but then you got this big 6'6" guy. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit his character. It doesn't fit the character. He has to be a high damage character because of his size. That was the whole intention of making this hero. The intention of making this hero was to be a guy who does a lot of damage. It was the intention of, hey, if he is able to get his hands on you, you're gonna be in trouble. That was the intention of making this character in the old For Honor days. But now you have to make him more accustomed to the newer days and make him balanced. You really can't drop that damage much more because it wouldn't fit his character. He would be a completely different character. You could say, oh, drop it down to 20. You can't do a 20 damage heavy with this big ass character. It's just not gonna work. It's not. No one's gonna play this character because on top of that, he's like one of the slowest characters in the game. He has terrible team fighting capabilities. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with this character. You have to have him high damage. You have to have high damage. So it has to be something that's extraordinarily bigger than everyone else. It has to be. So it would have to be more than 25 damage. It would have to be 30 damage, or at least 28. It would have to be. It would have to be something more than the average GB punish for someone else. So 30 damage, it would have to be 30 damage. So they don't want to do that because they would have done it. They would have done it already if they wanted to do it. So they know they've already done it. They're not going to do it. They're scared. So that's just that. Now if they did in-chain undodgeable, whole fucking G's, bro, you guys would be in trouble. All that dodging, that shit would be done. That shit would be done because if they did an in-chain undodgeable, right? In-chain undodgeable some kind of how, they would have to give it a 50-50. 50-50 meaning it has to be another option. And what do most 50-50s have if it's an undodgeable? A bash. Imagine if Highlander had an in-chain bash. You hit light, X heavy. Light, X, and he instantly goes into a kick. Boom, 30 damage. Instantly, you just got hit with 15 damage light. Another 12 damage light. That's 27 plus 30. 57 damage just like that because you decided to make the wrong move. You know, it would be something, something like that. That would be something that's crazy as fuck to see. Like if we're honestly sitting here thinking about what they could do to Highlander. right? We're just giving just different ideas here. We're just giving different ideas. Now, I'm gonna go something that's not even physical. I'm gonna go as far as to say this: in offensive stance, if they didn't do anything else and they had it where everything else is exactly the same, right? Offensive stance, Highlander, when he feints the kick or feints the kick to grab, he stays in offensive stance and he does not have to commit. It becomes a feintable bash. Now, I know you just said, wow. Imagine Highlander goes for a kick. He feints it. It's a hard feint. He can either go into offensive, stay there, or he can come out into defensive. So now all that dodging bullshit, that's done. That's done. He instantly becomes a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. If they didn't give him anything else and they gave him an actual hard feint, feintable bash, that right there will take him utterly above where he's at. He would be at least B tier just with a feintable bash alone. Imagine an in chain unblockable. A Highlander hitting with a light heavy, and instead of being an what's it called, a uninterruptible heavy, this instead is unblockable. This is just a few things that they could do. That would be a lot of frustration. He would be almost a conqueror on steroids. That's actually doing a lot of damage. Even if you just gave him a heavy off of a GB, that is something. That is something. But this is just a few things that they could do, man. I don't want to make this video too long, but I believe in conclusion that Highlander is the one character who needs a rework, who is in desperate need of a rework, that Ubisoft is afraid to rework. And I don't think that he will get a rework, like, probably ever. They'll probably do small tweaks, but I think he's one of the heroes who will not get a full rework. I would like to see him be the next rework. I am hoping, but I don't want to say that he's going to be the next one. I think someone else is next. And that will be another video, though. I have somebody else next, and I think I also can tell you what the new hero is going to have. So, if you guys enjoy the video, man, I appreciate hit the likes, man. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this video, man. Tell me what you think about Highlander. Does he need a rework? What would you think about some of these things? What would you add to it, man? Go ahead and drop a comment down below, man. Tell me what you think. I don't rap it for you. I don't sugarcoat it for you. Don't get that shit to you, raw, man. Thank y'all for coming out.